You're listening to Comic Reflections, episode 267. I'm your host, Nicholas Prom.
I'm that hippie beatnik peace freak Jeff Barnhart.
Yeah, that's you, all right.
Yeah.
Comic Reflections is brought to you by The Outhouse. You can find our show and other nifty content at theouthousers.com. And if you enjoy this program, please subscribe to us on either iTunes or Stitcher. And if you would like to support this show financially, please visit us at patreon.com/comicreflections, all one word.
Okay.
So, a couple more Iron Man issues to talk about today, Jeff. The first is Iron Man number 59, cover dated June of 1973. And according to Mike's Amazing World of Comics, it hit the stands on or around March 6th, 1973. Neat cover art by Rich Buckler and Joe Sinnott. You want to take a look at that?
Mm-hmm.
It's great. Iron Man is in battle in a graveyard with Firebrand.
Yeah.
And there's a gravestone that says R.I.P. Iron Man, when it's an open grave.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Firebrand's color scheme is exact opposite of Iron Man.
Very good.
And that's pretty neat. Well done.
Yeah.
Okay.
The dissimilarities don't stop there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the story is called Madness in Motown. So I guess they're going to fight Smokey Robinson or the Jackson 5.
Right.
But anyway, the story was written by Mike Friedrich, penciled by George Tuska, and inked by Mike Esposito. Cool splash panel. Tony is distraught about stuff, with kind of an image of Iron Man towering in anguish over him.
It's kind of a shadowy thing, and it's well done.
Yeah, I like that. It's very effective.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Tony got a call from Marianne's doctor.
She's crazy.
Yeah.
And she's going to the funny farm.
Yeah. Tony blames himself, but I think Nick is to blame.
What did I do?
I don't know.
I read this in your notes, and you blame me for a bunch of stuff. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. I'm not going to blame me. That'd be insane.
Maybe I had nothing to do with it. Maybe neither of us did.
Oh, don't weasel out of it.
God, you're like my father. You got to play the blame game all the time.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
So Marianne's crazy as a bedbug.
Yeah, she has ESP powers, and she's thinking she's seeing monsters, and she cannot control herself, and so we don't know what's going on. That's all we know.
Okay.
So Tony feels bad about it.
Yeah, he was such a jerk to her before. At least he's finally owning up to it.
Yeah, that's the thing about Tony. He does that, and
yeah, it's a great, just full-page splash of him smashing his own desk in his office.
Mm-hmm.
And outside in the lobby, who was there but Pepper Potts and Happy Hogan?
Mm-hmm. They are married now.
Yeah, and boy, Happy has terrible fashion sense.
Everyone did back then.
Yeah, a pink dress shirt, a blue overcoat, and a green and purple polka dotted tie.
Yeah. Okay.
Can we get a little more volume on that outfit, buddy?
Yeah. Oh, well. Pepper looks kind of nice.
Yeah.
And sporting a new hairstyle, I think, than I've seen her before. Actually, we haven't seen Pepper that much.
Not much. We've only sporadically talked about Iron Man, and it's certainly not like the earlier Silver Age stuff very much, so.
Yeah. So what's going on? Happy is kind of worried that Pepper is going out with, going to I guess Detroit with Tony.
Yeah.
And he's not jealous. He doesn't want her.
He doesn't want his wife working, but she's bored as a housewife.
Yeah.
And Happy is an ex-boxer, I think. I don't remember what he does now.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, not sure.
Bitches and moans, I guess.
Yeah.
At least in this issue.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we go to Motown and we see Roxanne Gilbert. Who's that? Well, let's find out.
Yeah.
Her brother comes up, and her brother turns out to be Firebrand. And this is where she finds out that he's Firebrand.
Right.
She is a hippie peacenik, and he is a hippie warnick. He wants to take over using violence.
He's not a hippie, but he's definitely a revolutionary or having a mindset. But he's kind of a lunkhead for having those kind of things also. It's weird. But anyway, their father was this millionaire industrialist, and he died.
Well, he was a big jerk.
Yeah.
And he wanted Iron Man, he used his son Firebrand to start fires and induce Iron Man to come and then blow up his building for the insurance money, I think. And but he also set a bomb that blew up him.
Yeah. And by the way, the father hired Firebrand and didn't know that it was his own son.
Ah, I didn't know that. Okay.
See, that's, I thought, was a neat twist.
Mm-hmm. But his father set the bomb and blew himself up, and Firebrand blames Iron Man. I blame you. No.
Are we about done with this?
Okay. But it's kind of, well, he also sees Iron Man as a symbol for all that's wrong in America. So
as should we all.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw Captain America: Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
What a jerk Iron Man is, right?
Not that bad.
Okay.
He had his points. Okay. So he's super mad at Iron Man. So now he's got a plan to get Iron Man in his clutches. They argue about whether or not to use violence. It goes on for a couple pages.
Who argues?
Firebrand and his
sister.
Yeah.
So he fixes his costume because I guess it got wrecked in a recent fight with Iron Man.
Mm-hmm. We see Tony and Pepper getting into a cab. I love the cabbie. Classic cabbie stereotype. He's wearing the worker cap and he's got a mustache. I mean, not mustache. A cigarette hanging out of his lip. So
yeah.
They go to this big mansion where Firebrand's father lived. And the cab gets blown up. People inside are okay. Firebrand smacks some people around, and captures Tony and Pepper and the cabbie. And then he slaps around his sister.
What a jerk.
Yeah. It's a great little panel there of that.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I remember I've read like one other story with Firebrand before. It was an issue of Web of Spider-Man from like the late 80s or the very early 90s. And somebody had hired him to like burn down a building while the Daily Bugle staff were having a Christmas party or something like that.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It was a pretty memorable issue. I mean, I don't remember a lot of the details, but it was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers, Spidey beat him up.
Oh, wow. I'm glad to hear it. I was kind of worried. Firebrand sends Tony out to get Iron Man. Oh, that's good. And, leaving Pepper and the cabbie as hostages.
Mm-hmm.
And Roxanne is a hostage, too.
Yeah.
So they're supposed to meet at the graveyard where Firebrand's father is at.
Dead and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's at. Or he's just having lunch.
Yeah, that's where he goes fishing. Okay. A grave dug. Iron Man's supposed to get into it. If he doesn't get into it, Firebrand will kill the hostages.
Oh.
Which kind of, Iron Man doesn't have much wiggle room there, I guess. So he's covered up. Iron Man burrows to the earth, comes up behind him, and smacks the crap out of Firebrand.
Man.
And we have a nice, good Marvel fight.
Oh, man, it goes on for pages.
And that's pretty darn cool. Some of the things I didn't notice, I didn't know he could do. Iron Man, one thing, fix it up so heat doesn't bother him as much. Then he has this little gizmo that makes fake Iron Mans.
Who fixes up this image?
Iron Man.
Okay, yeah. Casts an illusion or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so Firebrand has to try and figure out which one it is. Meanwhile, Iron Man can be striking out against him.
And he bashes the crap out of him.
Yay! And he deserves it.
So,
So yeah, Firebrand wants to like overthrow the government and stuff too.
Yeah. You need an organization, dude. Even though you're Superman couldn't overthrow the government by himself.
Well, Superman could. But Iron Man
could crush.
couldn't.
I mean, but to overthrow the government, that means you got to put somebody in it.
Okay.
You need somebody. You're going to have to have somebody.
Oh, I see. The job itself, beyond the smashing the opposition, would take more than one person. I get you.
And Firebrand's by himself.
Yeah.
Even his sister's.
Well, he's kind of an idiot too. I mean, like, so in the climax of the fight, his sister gets hurt.
Right.
She takes a blast to protect Iron Man.
Yeah.
Which is weird. It's like, he's got armor.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna be fine.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. Yeah.
Anywho.
So Iron Man fixes his wagon and beats the crap out of him. And we think that Roxanne is dead, but she's kind of okay. Police come, they arrest Firebrand. Iron Man takes her to the hospital. The end.
What do you think of this issue?
Not bad.
Hey, cool house hat for Dracula Lives.
Yeah, it is.
I love the Tomb of Dracula. I can't remember. I think Dracula Lives was like a magazine, if I remember correctly.
76-page magazine masterpiece.
Yeah.
Stories, features, photos.
Yeah, at this time, Marvel's starting to roll out its black and white magazine run. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was all right.
All right, so we're going to take a quick promotional break. When we come back, we'll talk a little more about Iron Man.
Star Wars, give me those Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars, don't let them end. Star Wars, those near and far wars, talking about Star Wars on a podcast.
I'm Ryan Daly, and welcome to...
And I'm the Irredeemable Shag.
Dude, what are you doing?
What?
Give Me Those Star Wars is my show.
Well, you're part of the Fire and Water Podcast Network, so it's really our show.
But if you show up on the promo, people will think you're the co-host.
I'm not?
No, the show will have rotating guests.
You just took that idea from my Justice League International podcast.
You took that idea from my Secret Origins podcast.
And you took that idea from Dead Bothan Spies.
That was my podcast.
Wait a minute. I sang the theme song with you.
So?
So, technically, I appear on every episode. I'm part of the foundation of this new Star Wars show.
That's true.
So, you want to take this from the top, or what?
I'm Ryan Daly. Join me and a galaxy of guest stars on Give Me Those... including the Irredeemable Shag, whose voice you will technically hear on every episode, on Give Me Those Star Wars.
The official Star Wars show of the Fire and Water Podcast Network.
Available on iTunes and Stitcher and at fireandwaterpodcast.com.
So which is the hottest Marvel character?
Iron Man.
Ant-Man. I can't decide between Professor X and Magneto, so both.
Loki.
Is Wolverine Marvel?
What about White Tiger?
What about White Tiger?
Doc Samson?
Who?
Star Fox?
That's a video game.
The girls go on a journey to determine every Marvel character's hotness in Ohatmu or Not, the official handbook of the Marvel Universe podcast you didn't know you wanted. Available on iTunes and at fireandwaterpodcast.com.
And we're back. Now we're going to talk about Iron Man number 64, cover dated November of 1973. And according to Mike's Amazing World of Comics, it hit the stands on July 31st, 1973. Really neat cover by John Romita and Mike Esposito.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Iron Man's being crushed by this villain Rock with 2 Ks.
Yeah, so you know he's a bad guy.
Or he just doesn't know how to spell.
Right.
So
Nice.
anyway, the story in this issue is called Rock Cometh. It was written by Mike Friedrich, penciled by George Tuska, and inked by Mike Esposito. And the splash page, we have Iron Man busting through a wall.
I kind of like it when they have a blank background. It's just blue.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, and it's pretty neat.
And it's funny because if you don't see this as much now because they're not limited by the 4-color process.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a case of less is more.
Yeah.
The colorfulness, the fun of comics, just have the background be a big, solid color field, and you can focus on the character and what's taking place in the panel.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah. I love this. Rock Cometh, featuring the diabolical designs of Dr. Spectrum. Color him angry.
Yeah. So, if you remember Dr. Spectrum at all...
No.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Remember how DC Comics, they have the Earth 1 and Earth 2,
Mm-hmm.
And then Earth 3,
Mm-hmm.
right? Earth 3 is where the crime syndicate lives?
Yes.
Okay. Imagine, in a Marvel Comics setting, there's the Squadron Sinister, which is like Earth 3, like the hero,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and then there's also the Squadron Supreme, which is a world of basically a Justice League analog, but there's the Squadron Sinister, who are the evil version of those on another world. This is the evil Dr. Spectrum,
Okay.
who is basically Green Lantern.
Okay. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Let's see.
So Iron Man is demolishing a building.
Because he's going to gentrify the area.
Yeah, he's building a new at the time. It's funny though because I think in the 70s, and prior, tearing down a rundown neighborhood and then building up something nice and new was viewed as progress and good.
Mm-hmm.
But now we see it's like no, it just makes the poor people move somewhere else, and it compounds the problem somewhere else.
Yeah. The problem is that, somebody will buy a house and in a poor neighborhood and they'll fix it up. Because they own the house where they live, they take better care of it.
Right.
If you're renting from a jerkwad landlord, you're not going to take care of it. Landlord doesn't care, so it looks run down.
It gets run down, yeah.
I
didn't really understand gentrification until I read Will Eisner's Contract with God trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it's in the third book in that they really explain that. I'm like, oh, now I get this.
Yeah.
But things like that, some of those terms like that and austerity, these are complicated, and even a college-educated guy such as myself and you, they could be tricky to grasp the meaning.
H.L. Mencken said, for every complicated problem, there's a simple solution. That's wrong. And
I like that.
Yeah. Although gentrification's kind of important. If there's no gentrification, the cities would die because
they would just be crumbling
and nobody would be able to pay taxes and all that stuff. And so it's never easy. When you gain something, you lose something.
Sure.
There's got to be some kind of solution. I don't know what it is. Let's see. All right. So he destroys this building, then he fixes up a brand new spanking apartment complex. 6 stories tall, looks like.
Yeah.
And
then he's attacked by Dr. Spectrum,
who destroys what he just made.
Man, what a jerk.
I know. So this is a bummer. But I guess he gets a... wait, what's going on? Oh,
this is a flashback.
Yeah.
He's thinking of his earlier fight with Dr. Spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
My mistake. But then I guess, what is he getting back together with? Oh, no.
Oh, he's worried about Pepper and Happy.
And he gives her a kiss, and then Happy walks in on him. And so...
Oopsie doodle.
He's pissed. Yeah, spoilers, they do get divorced.
Actually, that kind of sucks. Okay, so... oh, well.
Yeah. I think she's a better love interest for Tony, because Happy is like, why does this character even exist?
I think he's an everyman.
To be Tony's pal originally, but later he gets replaced by Rhodey, who is, I think, more interesting.
Yeah. Although I do like him in the movies.
Oh, Happy Hogan?
Yeah.
He's in the first one, isn't he?
And the second one.
Oh, no, he is in all of them. Yeah. You don't see him in the other Marvel movies. That's why I was forgetting.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's an interesting character. And, it's
and
a
that's
normal
Kevin,
Joe.
and it's Kevin Feige, the guy who is like the head of Marvel Studios.
Is it?
Yeah.
I did not know this.
Well, now you know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he played in the Daredevil movie, which is not a Marvel Studios movie. He played Foggy Nelson.
Oh.
In the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie.
I remember not liking that movie that much.
It's not a good movie.
Yeah, I can't even remember Foggy.
Well, anyway, I'm just telling you, the guy who plays Happy in the Marvel movies is the guy who played Foggy.
Interesting.
Anyway.
Okay. So there's a huge fight. So, Dr. Spectrum has this diamond or something like that.
It's the power prism.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not to be confused with the power prism that the Parasite from DC Comics had. Remember that?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So,
I love the enthusiasm in your tone.
No, I mean, it's just, all these stones and amulets and blah, 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 blah. It gets old. Iron Man has fought
Dr. Spectrum.
Dr. Spectrum. I totally forgot his name already. And he is susceptible to ultraviolet ray.
Yeah.
So he zaps him.
Yeah.
Yay.
And so Dr. Spectrum bails or disappears or whatever. And then...
and into this like a smoky void or something like that.
So he goes back to Stark headquarters or whatever and gets confronted by Happy. And he says, Happy's like, if you didn't have that bum heart, I'd kick the crap out of you. And he's like, I fixed my heart. Good news. And so then Happy hits him.
Yeah. When did this happen? I'd never heard of this. So.
What? His heart getting fixed?
Yeah.
It happened over the course of a few issues that we didn't read in between.
That's the thing about these classic comic books that last forever. I mean, so much stuff happens.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's okay, though.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Happy is kicking his butt.
Yeah.
Well, Pepper comes, and she's not happy at all.
Yeah. And so she sends Happy packing, and he's starting to pack, and it's their end of their marriage.
Yeah.
And then they get attacked by Rock.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Dr. Obatu?
Sure.
And comes in. He's looking for... Well, he only hires black people. Okay, all right. But he wants Iron Man to be his bodyguard. But then I guess you don't know what color Iron Man is.
Yeah.
Except he's red and yellow. But you don't know. And so then here comes Rock. Big blue guy who's kicking butt.
Yeah.
He's got a big club.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So he's throwing an array of people in the room around like rag dolls.
Mm-hmm.
What is Rock? Rock was here to get the Doctor and Tony Stark? What was it?
Yeah, he's got to kill a Batu.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, and Tony, he attacks Tony, not Iron Man, but Tony.
Right.
And Tony's not a great fighter without a suit. So, but he figures out, he remembers, and he smacks him on the ears, and
he boxes Rock's ears.
Yeah.
That's funny. He remembers a judo chop or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, so Rock, he's not only big, mean, and strong, he also has telepathy. And he figures out that Tony loves this chick, Roxanne, from the last...
Roxanne is Firebrand's sister.
Mm-hmm. So now Rock is going after Roxanne.
Tells her you don't have to put on the red light.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, wrong Roxanne.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. We go to Roxanne. She's at the organic health food someplace. Where else would she be?
Right?
Yeah.
She runs the organic health food place.
And Roxy Gilbert's food store. And strange, I can't stop thinking about Tony. Cool.
She was Debbie Gibson. She couldn't stop thinking about tomorrow.
Right.
Is that
No, that's Fleetwood Mac.
man?
Oh no!
why-
Don't stop thinking about tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would I think that was Debbie Gibson?
I don't know.
My brain is just not
Yeah.
on correctly today.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So who comes? Rock comes, and he's kicking butt, and he's smashing things with his club. Here comes Iron Man, and they have a nice big fight. Pretty cool. Oh, I love these word things.
What word?
You
You
know,
mean the sound effects?
Bang, yeah, sound effects. Corrupt. I never seen that one before.
Yeah, they're great. Marvel's excellent with the automatopoeia up sounds.
Ah, that's what they are.
Yeah.
So, huge fight. It's going pretty good. I love there's some people watching, and this girl says, somebody's got to stop that fight. And this big, beefy guy says, great idea, lady. You grab the big guy while I'll pry Iron Man away. Smart Alec. Yeah, but then someone says, go ahead and joke, but what happens when Iron Man's dead? What's going to happen to us?
Right.
That's a good point. Some really good fighting, and Rock disappears. And here comes Dr. Spectrum, and he turns Rock into a scimitar, a big Arabian sword.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, wait. It was Dr. Spectrum all along.
yeah, which I was kind of disappointed. Why make him a sword? He was doing pretty good beforehand or something.
I don't
Why
know.
a sword?
Well, because the whole thing is he was just an illusion created by Dr. Spectrum.
Yeah, but it's kicking butt. What else do you want?
Yeah. Well, Dr. Spectrum, I think a scimitar is a kind of a thing he likes to use a lot,
Mm-hmm.
like as a creation from the prism.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like to be like, oh, it was Dr. Spectrum all along. So anyway,
Mm-hmm.
not the greatest reveal, but it's okay.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know what Dr. Spectrum's deal is with Iron Man other than the Squadron Sinister got defeated by the Avengers.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's all you
And
need.
so Dr. Spectrum can make something, a person or a monster that can read minds, but he cannot read minds.
Well, if he has the same power as he's an analog for Green Lantern,
Mhm.
and Green Lantern can use the ring to read people's minds. So he's just using.
Can Green Lantern read minds, or does he have to create something to read minds? Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying. Let me explain. He just uses he'll activate the ring and have it scan someone's mind and learn something. Okay.
Mhm.
If say he created a robot.
Mm-hmm.
And then through the robot, he projected a beam to read someone's mind. It's coming through the ring, or in this case, the prism. It's still connected.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's just kind of weird, but
It's
Yeah.
comics.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, these were pretty fun issues.
They are well drawn. Not the greatest ones, but pretty good. I enjoyed them.
Yeah, they were fun.
Mm-hmm.
So
I wonder what's up with Dr. Obatu, though.
I don't
I was
know.
kind of
I
intrigued.
think he was just kind of like he needed to be there to facilitate this plot point. He may not have been real.
That's
no.
interesting.
No, but that can't be right because the Happy and them or Pepper had heard of him, so it had to have been a real guy, I guess.
Yeah, but that little thing intrigued me. It says, "Oh, what's his deal? What's he going to do?
Yeah, who
Why is
knows?
he being attacked?"
Could be nothing. But anyway, I want to read another one of our iTunes reviews.
Okay.
This comes from a guy named, well, I'm not sure if it's a guy or a gal, but Desi Westside says, passion for comics drives excellent podcast. He goes on to say, funny, informative, and insightful discussions about classic comic book stories. Check it out.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty fun.
Sure, they're talking about us?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
That was
So
nice.
anyway, Comic Reflections is recorded in Portland, Oregon, and produced by Sean Roof. Until next time.
I'll see you in the funny pages.
I'm Mike Gillis.
And I'm Casey Dorn, and we want to ask you an important question.
Are you sick and tired of other panel discussion shows wasting your time droning on and on about foreign policy, economics, and human rights?
Or do you want to hear conversations about things that actually matter?
We host a podcast called Radio versus the Martians. Every month we gather a panel of our nation's finest minds and plunge a rusty prison shank into the heart of tough questions that have an impact on the lives of real people like you.
Like, are drivers required to pull over for the Ghostbusters?
Is the United Federation of Planets actually an oppressive dictatorship run by guidance counselors?
Is Arnold Schwarzenegger secretly a genius?
And are we being mean when we laugh at movies that are so bad they're good?
So write your congressman and let them know that Radio vs. the Martians is available on iTunes, Stitcher, and on radioversusthemartians.com.
Superman, Blue Beetle, Captain Marvel, Firestorm, The Crimson Avenger, Batman, Halo, Guy Gardner, The Sandman, Shadow Lass, Dollman, The Star-Spangled Kid, The Flash, The Phantom Stranger, Power Girl, Hawkman, Fury, The Challengers of the Unknown, Nightwing, The Whip, Johnny Thunder, The Suicide Squad, Deadman, The Spectre, Warlord, Amazing Man, Hourman, Adam Strange, Dr. Occult, The Doom Patrol, Captain Comet, Creep, Green Lantern, Uncle Sam, The Guardian, Batgirl, Dr. Mid, Jonah Hex, Black Khan, The Manhunter, The Guardians of the Florida, Blue Devil, Dr. Fate, The Legion of Super, The Secret Origins Podcast, covering every issue of DC's Secret Origins comic from the 1980s. Hosted by Ryan Daly and a multitude of guests from the podcast and blogging community. Secret Origins Podcast. Find it on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and at fireandwaterpodcast.com.